Hey there everyone, I am King 5, Meteorologist Adam Claibon. Happy Sunday to all of you. We are in store for a drying and a warming trend here as we head on into the upcoming week and heading into that upcoming Memorial Day holiday weekend. We do have to get through some showers first, and it's going to be kind of a repeat of what we saw this weekend. Of course, the weekend, especially for a few of us, started off gloomy, cloudy, and wet Saturday. Second half of the weekend, not too bad. Sunday was actually a pretty decent day for us. We see that same pattern start to shape up as we go towards the latter part of the work week, because tonight into the day tomorrow, we got another system heading on in. So we'll talk about the rain. That's going to be around here, at least for Monday and Tuesday. Then we'll talk about the drying trend, which is not completely dry. We do have a few showers in the forecast still as we head into the upcoming weekend, but we are expecting it to be at least warmer. We could even be talking about 70s yet again here across western Washington. Let's talk about today's highs, which were cooler than average again. The averages are up to 67 out at SeaTac. So that 62 that you see right there being reported, that's 5 degrees below where we should normally be. 58 for a high out at Port Angeles, 58 in Quileute, 59 in Bellingham, and low 60s down around Tacoma, Puyallup, and in Olympia. All right, this is what we're looking forward to here throughout the week. Tomorrow, widespread rain going to be in place, and this is going to be a steady rain, and we'll keep a lot of that heavier rain in place during the morning commute. Late morning, heading to the afternoon, more often on showers. So we'll be done with a lot of the rain before noon tomorrow, but still expected to be wet here into tomorrow evening, and it looks like even into the day on Tuesday too. But then by Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, we're starting to dry out a bit more. We are going to see a milder pattern set up too as temperatures start to climb back into the mid 60s, upper 60s by the very end of the work week, and then we're expecting the weekend to at least feature some sunshine here as we head into the Memorial Day holiday weekend. The entire weekend not going to be dry though. We'll talk about that here in a second. Let's talk about what's happening out there as far as the clouds. You can see our system working its way closer to us. Those clouds off of the coast right there, those are heading our way, and that will be our system that will start us off heading into Monday and Tuesday. So there you go. You can see that forecast is still going to be cooler. Maybe some spots remaining in highs with highs in the 50s. Still expecting to see rain in the forecast too Monday and Tuesday. And then you'll notice right here for more of the day on Wednesday, and then we have Friday and even Saturday, that denotation, that explanation of a few showers around. We mean a very few showers. That's why we have the icons still partly sunny with no rain icons on there. But we do expect that there could be a few sprinkles around some spots. So not a completely dry forecast at that point, but that Sunday forecast as of now is looking like it is going to be a really dry day, and you can see that high coming up to 71 degrees. All right, let's get back into it. Here's what's happening out there. You can see the clouds moving in. Looking at our SchoolNet site there in Granite Falls, we're going to see those thicken here throughout the night, and we'll get a lot more of those as well heading towards Port Angeles, and what we're going to be expecting as well as you head out this way towards Bellingham. Beautiful sunny end to the day here on Sunday. Should be dropping off a little bit as far as temperatures tonight, but with the clouds moving in, that should help to keep more of those lows in the mid to upper 40s as opposed to the lower 40s. Tacoma, cloudy skies there, but still a pretty nice evening here as we head into Sunday evening. And Everett, cloudy skies there. Let's go ahead and move on to one last spot. That's here in Seattle. A few areas of blue, also seeing some of those gray clouds as well. Temperatures sitting in the low 60s. We have those south winds coming in for you at about 11 miles per hour. But again, the rain shouldn't be much of an issue if you're going to have any evening plans. Those should stay dry. It's not going to be until tomorrow morning before we get that rain, especially here closer to the I-5 corridor, to start to show itself again, and that's going to come down with some pretty steady shower activity. All right, here's radar, and you can see what's left behind of our system. You can see the spin out towards the eastern side of the state and heading into Idaho. That's where we still have some showers over there towards Spokane. Maybe a few sprinkles down as you get closer to the Oregon state line as well, but big picture, here's our system. That's the one that's going to be responsible for the rain heading our way tomorrow morning. And that plume of clouds and moisture too is heading right towards us. It's going to be right directed heading into western Washington. So get ready for it and give yourself some extra time if you're going to be heading out tomorrow morning at that point as well. All right, let's continue on. You'll see that Futurecast is showing that we do have some showers moving in late tonight, and here we are into early tomorrow morning. So between the times of about 5, more so 6 to 8 o'clock. That's when we'll see the majority of the rain over the I-5 corridor. If you're out towards the coast and over the Olympic Peninsula, you might see that as early as about 5 o'clock, maybe even 4 o'clock if you have a very early start to your day. But we're going to get those showers to move quickly off to the east. This is not going to be a long hitter as far as the steady rain is concerned. Another thing I wanted to point out too, what's happening up this way around Stevens Pass. Snow levels are going to come down to about 45, maybe 4,000 feet. Could see a little snow up this way, up around Stevens Pass. Should it be a major issue? Minor limited accumulations, if that. We're talking 1 to maybe 3 inches here as we go throughout the morning and heading into the afternoon hours. But that will melt, and what we're really going to see is up this way around Mount Baker. That's where we could get close to over the next couple of days, maybe a half a foot of fresh snow. Very wet stuff up that way, but it's going to be pretty neat to see that here during this part of the season now, heading into this time of the year. All right, you'll see that behind that there's shower activity still in place during the afternoon, but it is going to be more scattered in nature, and we'll keep that in place as we head into tomorrow evening as well. Still more showers too as we head on into tomorrow night, and that converter zone activity, which was more set up over parts of King and Snohomish counties on Saturday, well, that's going to be more up this way across Skagit and Whatcom counties. Wind direction is going to be out of the southwest, so up around these parts right here, I would say keep an eye out for the majority of the rain as we head into Monday evening, Monday night, and into the earlier part of Tuesday. Off of that, though, we are going to see things start to shift a little farther south with winds coming back more so out of the west as we head into Tuesday afternoon and Tuesday evening, coming back down around some of the usual spots, Snohomish County and King County, with some of those showers sticking with us, but they are dying off by the time we head into early Wednesday morning. That was at about 8 o'clock right there that you were seeing the timestamp. All right, so looking at rain totals with this, could be anywhere between about 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 an inch in most spots. Out across more of the Olympic Peninsula, especially the central and north coast, that's where we can see some of the higher totals getting up close to maybe an inch of rain, and some rain shadowed spots maybe coming in less than 2/10 of an inch here through again the next couple of days, Monday and Tuesday. As I mentioned, we do have enough cold air in place to perhaps produce a little snow up across the Cascades, or at least our passes. That's what I'm referring to. And up that way around Stevens Pass, an inch or 2 possibly. I'm not going to be too concerned with that. That's not going to be a major issue for us at all. And really none of this is going to be bringing in any sort of impacts when it comes to travel. But up here around Mount Baker, that's just a number that's kind of interesting to look at here during the middle part of May. 15 inches. According to the models, I'm thinking we're still going to stay below a foot for sure, probably more close to around 1/2 of it over the next couple of days. And as we take a look at high temperatures, highs will be generally starting to climb as we head into the middle to latter part of the week. So as we mentioned at the beginning, there's a warming and a drying trend that's going to take shape for us as we go from more the low 60s Monday and Tuesday and back up to those seasonal averages. The average is at 67. We get up to 67 degrees by Thursday. Going to be a pretty nice day. Should be one of the nicer days, especially once we head into late Thursday and early Friday, because that's where we're going to see a nice window of things being, for the most part, dry. And then we head into that Friday, or that late Friday evening into Saturday, where we could see a bit more of that shower activity starting to pop up, albeit very, 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 very small chances around. All right, and then continuing on after that, you'll see here as we go ahead and fast forward how things will shape up heading into the upcoming Memorial Day weekend. This is Thursday night at 10 p.m. There's that drying trend I referred to. We're going to see things stay fairly dry into the earlier half of Friday. And then once we head into Friday afternoon, Friday evening, that spin of low pressure here across the Pacific is going to start to bring some moisture in. I think for the most part still, we're not worried about too widespread of rain. We're fairly dry here across a lot of western Washington. Then we head into Friday night into Saturday. That's where you could see a few more of those showers, especially out across parts of the coast. Now as we head on into Saturday night and Sunday, check out what happens there. We get a big break. We get this nice ridge of high pressure that starts to build over the area, at least for one day. And that is, as of right now, shaping up to be a really nice day that could bring highs back into the 70s with plenty of sunshine here across the area. So if you do have any plans, it looks like Sunday is going to be one of the nicer days here for the upcoming holiday weekend. We'll get that to start to change, though. System is directing a lot of the moisture up into BC and southeast Alaska at this point throughout the day on Sunday. That's 3 p.m. for you. And then it starts to shift a little more as we start to get a little more moisture off of the Pacific. We get that system to arrive a bit closer, and rain comes back into the forecast heading into Monday. Not a washout, but it looks like some showers will be back in place around that time. All right, let's talk about tonight, though. Lows dropping down into the mid to upper 40s. Going to be a bit of a cool start early into Monday. And again, a lot of that rain going to be in place by the morning commute as you head out the door tomorrow. Highs tomorrow, a lot of 50s still around. We're still going to be cooler than average. 58 in Blaine, same in Orcas Island. Mid 50s around Oak Harbor, 59 in Marysville. Low 60s expected for Monroe. Linwood topping off at 59 degrees. We'll be in the low 60s around Issaquah, Bremerton, 60, 62 in Paulsville, topping off at about 63 in Puyallup. Upper 50s around Olympia, Belfair, and in Yelm. Farther south you go, getting closer to that state line with Oregon. Castle Rock, Longview, back in the low 60s there. Centralia up to 59. We'll be up into the mid 50s out towards the coast for Ocean Shores, Tahola, up towards Claylock and Nia Bay in the low 50s there at 53. 52 for Forks, and farther to the east there along Highway 101, Lake Crescent, Port Angeles, Sequim in the mid to upper 50s for you as we keep that cooler air mass in place. And here's your 7-day forecast. We got the higher rain chances expected for Monday and Tuesday with those temperatures on the lower side, and then we start to see more of that clearing and drying trend yet again as we head on towards the middle and latter part of the work week and heading into the upcoming holiday weekend. Still got some time. We could see some changes in the forecast. Maybe you can trend wetter, but maybe you can trend warmer and sunnier too at the same time. So make sure to keep an eye out for it and make sure to stay tuned with us here so we can give you all the latest on all of that information. All right, everyone, well, enjoy the rest of your weekend and your Sunday night and have a great Monday. If you're going to be heading out tomorrow morning, we'll have your next update tomorrow with Rich Marriott. Make sure to tune in for us and have a great night. We'll talk to you soon.